Well, fight fans, last night the legend Roy Jones Jr. returned to the ring and he fought former UFC fighter Anthony Pettis. Roy loses the fight by majority decision. Now, let's talk about the pros and the cons. Let me start with Anthony Pettis. This was his first fight, so it was his debut in boxing. So, boxing isn't his main discipline. I thought that he did a good job with the jab to the body, which was a good way to go really at any fighter, but especially an older fighter. I thought that he did a good job trying to land the overhand right. And I thought he did a good job trying to, I want to say he was trying to cut the ring off. I think he was really trying to get Roy against the ropes. As far as the cons for Anthony Pettis, they would be he's in there with an older fighter. And by older, I mean way old. I'd like to see him be more aggressive instead of as cautious as he was. As far as Roy Jones Jr., the pros would be, first of all, him even getting in the ring at 54 years old is a pro. Exhibition, regular fight, tune up, whatever you want to call a fight. A man that old getting in the ring is a pro in my book. He did a good job to me of giving angles. I thought that he gave Anthony Pettis a boxing lesson in there. And by the lesson, I mean that he showed him that it's a lot to learn. He gave him different angles. I thought he did a good job with his hands up. He rarely got hit upstairs. If you were paying attention, some of those shots that Anthony was throwing, they were not landing. Now, he was landing to the body, but he wasn't really hitting Roy to the head. I would also say, too, that in rounds 4, 5, and 6, Roy did a good job of throwing more than one punch. He didn't do it a lot, but he did it some. It was the leaping, patented left hook of his, the straight right hand, overhand right, a lot of left hands to the body. Kind of reminded you of the old Roy. Of course, it didn't look as fast as it was back in the day, but it reminded you of how he used to put combinations back together in the day. As far as the cons for Roy, nothing. No cons. He's 54 years old. A fight like this, whether he wins or loses, is really meaningless to him. It's really just a cash grab. I actually thought that the 8-round fight was a decently entertaining fight. It was pretty much what I expected. There was not a lot of holding. I thought that each man gave a decent amount of action. And of course, at 54, you are not expecting to see Roy Jones throw 5, 6, 7, 8 punch combinations or do any of the things that he used to do. All in all, I wasn't upset with seeing Roy in the ring. I kind of felt for Roy the same way I feel for Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather has been fighting so many exhibitions that I don't even hear about him until weeks later. When somebody says, "Hey, did you know that Floyd fought John Smith a couple of weeks ago?" And I have no issues with it because Floyd is retired and it's okay to me to make a little money fighting these exhibition fights. The same that I would say with Roy. I really have no issue with him taking this fight. And one of the main reasons is because we know that Roy is not what he was. We know that he's taken, especially the last, I'm going to say, 10 years of his career, he took way too many unnecessary shots. The good thing about this fight is that Roy did not take any extra damage. Anthony didn't hit Roy with anything that made me wince and think, man, he just lost another brain cell. I thought that he made it through a fight, and he probably could fight a couple of fights like this and, get a little paycheck. Now, I'm not sure what Roy made in this fight, but it's good to see the legend in there getting a little extra money in his pocket. As for Anthony Pettis, I heard that he said he wants to fight Anderson Silva. That's the type of fight that he should fight. Another guy who boxing isn't his discipline, and that might be a decent fight for him to get in there. But he still has some learning to do in boxing. All in all, he didn't have put on a bad performance at all. He just fought a man who has 46 years of boxing under his belt. I'm saying that thinking that Roy probably started boxing at about 9 years old. Anyway, fight fans, that was all. I just want to touch on that. Tell me if you watched the fight. Tell me what you thought about it. Were you entertained? Were you not entertained? If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so we can keep talking boxing. Other than that, that's all I got. I'll let y'all later.